join the AI revolution. Most of those revolutions, they never leave the demo stage. This is not about watching AI win, but helping you win with AI. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Hardik, all this sounds powerful, but how do we even get there? Because I get asked all the time. We want to leverage the power of AI. We know our competitors are doing it, but we don't even know where to begin. And how do we know if it's the right investment? So let's break it down.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hope you have slept well. Hope you've gotten yourselves a cup of coffee. My name is Shruti Mishra, and we have a very exciting session planned for you this morning to kick the day off. This is not a panel. This is not a flashy demo. This is a set of real-world case studies on how to use AI to grow revenue. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our host for today, Mr. Hardik Jagda.
From writing code in his bedroom in Mumbai, India, to building AI systems that now power global experiences, transforming how over 500 million people connect with content, culture, and moments that move them.
Well, from all, we're joined by Hardik. Mr. Hardik Jagda. Please welcome him, Mr. Hardik Jagda. Here, Hardik.
Mr. Hardik Jagda.
With the incredible Hardik Jagda.
Meet Hardik Jagda, entrepreneur, speaker, angel investor, and philanthropist. As founder, chairman, and CEO of Proximity Works, he leads a group of 5 companies across 4 countries. Bootstrapped from the ground up in 2019, Hardik has built Proximity into an AI-native powerhouse that helps shape digital experiences for the world's largest sports and media streaming giants. He thrives on solving complex challenges, seeing them as opportunities for real transformative change. At his core is a mission to use AI and technology to solve what matters. Through Proximity Foundation, he's now equipping the next generation with tools to succeed in real life. Visionary, builder, change maker, and he's just getting started.
How's everyone doing today? Great. Woo. I'm Hardik Jagda, and I'm going to be your host for today. I'm very excited to be here. Let me get a feel for the room. How many founders and CEOs in the room? Raise your hands, please. How many investors in the room? Not that many, huh? How many founders building in AI in the room? I feel you. As an angel investor, every deck that I now see says, join the AI revolution. Which is odd, because I never thought a revolution would be led by PowerPoint. But here's the real punchline. Most of those revolutions, they never leave the demo stage. Now raise your hands if you've seen a cool AI demo this month. Now keep it raised if it actually shipped, saved time, and made money. That's what we're going to talk about today. As the CEO of Proximity Works, I've spent the last 6 years consulting with the CEOs and CTOs of global media and streaming companies. Yes, some of you are in the room. And I've helped them ship the next generation of fan engagement tools, scale to dozens of global markets, and go from chaos to clarity in achieving a competitive edge using AI. But today isn't about my resume. It's about your opportunity. Because the single biggest mistake that execs are making right now is waiting. Waiting for this gold rush to be over. Waiting for feeling ready. And waiting for consensus. But people who are winning with AI, they are not waiting. They are running 6-week pilots. They are failing fast. They are breaking things. They are learning. And they are building this AI muscle while others are hesitating. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to play a short video.
Every move you make shapes your future. Every play writes your legacy.
Imagine having your greatest news captured instantly without the hassle of editing. Introducing MetaVision. With MetaVision's AI-powered highlight engine, your game-changing plays are transformed into shareable reels tailored just for you and your trusted partners. Instant, personalized, unforgettable. Level up your personal brand. Own your legacy.
One of our clients, a global sports platform with a fan base in the hundreds of millions, was stuck. After a major game, their marketing team would always burn the midnight oil. They would watch the entire game clip, they would clip highlights, they would sync commentary, they would create thumbnails, and push content to 12 platforms. It took them 6 hours every single time, and a lot of human grind. Any of you been there? I know I have. So we built MetaVision, a real-time AI engine that watches the entire match, detects key moments, tags metadata, suggests thumbnails, and delivers social content in just under 15 minutes. The net result, time to publish, went down from 6 hours to 15 minutes. Content output increased 5x. And the team didn't burn out, they leveled up. Creativity gets you noticed, operations gets you paid, and AI gives you a shot at having both. Let's take another example. A team, let's just say one that's broken every single fan engagement record in live sports history, came to us with a global problem. We could launch in dozens of global markets, but our team doesn't speak English. Can you localize live commentary in real time without losing the spirit of the game? So we built an AI layer for multilingual sports commentary. It doesn't just translate, it understands, it paces, it adds local flavor and slang. So a fan in Sao Paulo or Madrid doesn't feel like an afterthought. AI gave this company the power to launch in dozens of new regional markets. Same great product, dozens of new languages with millions of new customers. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Hardik, all this sounds powerful, but how do we even get there? Because I get asked all the time, we want to leverage the power of AI. We know our competitors are doing it, but we don't even know where to begin. And how do we know if it's the right investment? So let's break it down. First, if you can name one workflow that your team repeats every single week that is core to your business, you've already found your first AI pilot. Let me repeat that. If you can name one workflow that your team repeats every single week, you've already found your first AI pilot. Now, I want you guys to take 30 seconds and just think about that one workflow that your team repeats every week. And don't just think about it, tell it to the person sitting next to you. Please take 30 seconds. Great. I think everyone, by show of hands, did everyone at least come up with one workflow or think of one workflow? Awesome. Now, as to the second part of the question, how do we know if it's even the right investment for us? And how do we even monetize this AI pilot? The answer is, we've built a rapid AI experimentation framework that I use with the world's top CEOs and CXOs of global sports, media, and creator companies in helping them go from the idea, a workflow idea, to a pilot that generates revenue within 90 to 180 days. And I'll show you how to get it, but at the end of this talk. So please stick around. Because this is not about watching AI win, but helping you win with AI. Well, it's time to introduce our first case study for today. Meet Fernando from Super.fans, a platform using AI to read YouTube at scale. They've taken campaign creation time from 7 hours down to 30 minutes, giving marketers sharper targeting and some serious time back. Please welcome Fernando.
All right, there we go. So, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Super.fans, how we've been helping some huge marketing agencies, really streamline their workflows, get some time back, save a lot of money, and hopefully get you guys some thinking about, how to implement AI into not only your workflows, but sort of how it's changing how startups, businesses develop, things of that nature. So, we, last July, so July 2024, this is a little bit less than a year ago, we got connected through one of our advisors to one of the biggest YouTube advertising agencies in the country. They had just hired, I believe, their 650th employee. They are working with over 200 media buyers and account managers. Like, we're talking a big player, probably a bigger player than we've had spoken with up to that point so far. And it's a startup thing. We were introduced about a completely separate product, and at that point we were a very small team of 4 people, so a very small startup. So we started working with this major agency, and one of their media buyers came up to me and said, "Hey, we have this completely separate problem where we're spending 5 hours every single day doing manual, really labor-intensive manual work on spreadsheets. That then gets taken into another session that takes another 5 hours to brainstorm on how to run these campaigns and that kind of stuff." And I was like, well, let's see it. Let's see if it's really that crazy. So this is what the beginning of a campaign mapping file for a YouTube campaign looks like. This is the first however many rows of multiple thousands of rows. All of these are filled in hand by a human being. So this is taking 5 hours per team member for hundreds of team members every single day doing this stuff. And if this doesn't look crazy, this is the second part of the file. This is the stuff that they have to read through. And I kid you not, it's literally reading through this kind of stuff over here and going word by word and identifying what is the audience that the client is requesting. What is the, different mapping files? Where do we have to put the creative? What is the exact placement that this goes on YouTube? What product is this associated with? Like crazy stuff like that. And all of this is used to create these, multi-million-dollar YouTube campaigns. Very prone to human error, takes a long time. So we thought we'd take a crack at it. Really, trying to help them get from the process of getting this stuff in from their CRM to a point where they can start building these campaigns. And then we found that there's a lot more to these campaigns. After this whole thing gets done, you have to read through a bunch of client documents and you have to understand what the client is requesting, what the audiences are that you're gonna do, what are the targeting parameters, just like the keywords and topics on Google Ads and other different meta and stuff. How are you going to target the audience that the client wants to target? You have to do all of that stuff manually. So this is another 3 to 5 hours that these team members have to go through per campaign to set all of this stuff up, right? So now we're talking 7-10 hours per team member, per campaign to get one of these things set up every single day. So in true startup AI fashion, we started by developing a product, and this is where I think AI sort of changes. So the very first iteration of our AI product was this. If anyone recognizes this is Notion. So effectively, what we would do is we would get all of this information and chaotically throw it into our Notion instance and then organize this all ourselves in the team while telling the agency that it's all working, we absolutely promise. And then we would get these marketing campaigns up and running and then send them the Excel spreadsheets back that they could apply to Google Ads, and it was a complete chaos, total. My co-founder's over here and she can tell you guys later how that period was. This is all, again, since July of last year. So around October to November, we start, actually using AI internally to the degree where we can actually start setting up some of these products. So around October, this became this, where a marketer in one of these agencies, any of their team members, can go into our platform. They can identify what audience it is that they're trying to reach for that marketing campaign. All of those documents can just get thrown into one little place and organized all in the same place, so you don't have to read through all of that stuff. You don't have to spend hours and hours brainstorming and all that good stuff. And then you can put a little other details, whatever you want, to tell us about that brand. And then in about 10 to 30 minutes, you have all of your targeting parameters set up and organized in a way that can be directly plugged into Google Ads and actually run a campaign. And the crazy part of this is that by using direct data from the audience, because human beings can't be reading through millions, billions of audience data points and creating complex data models and all of that in their mind, by doing this, we consistently beat benchmarks from the agencies that we work with. So these agencies actually have greater return on investment for the agencies that we're working with at an absolute fraction of the time. So what are the results of this? We take a 7 to 10 hour process, we turn it into a 20 to 30 minute process. So we're saving 5 hours per account manager for these agencies per day, which amounts to right now about $3 million in yearly savings for your agency between 500 and 1,000 employees. And that's just the very, very beginning. There's just so much more that can be done. And the crazy different aspect of all of this is that we started not by ideating on a product with the customer, not by signing lengthy enterprise contracts for months and months and months. We started with a conversation on Slack that within 2 weeks was leading to multi-million-dollar campaigns being run through our recommendation engine through Notion and Slack, leading to eventually building a product around the value that we were providing. And all of this because not only we had the necessary tools in order to build the products much more rapidly and with less people, we were also able to leverage this just a huge amount of data that comes in from all of these agencies, YouTubers, and creators in a way that's never been done before. So AI is really, really revolutionizing how you can use data, how you can develop products, and especially how you can develop and deliver value to your clients in a much faster, more iterative, and over time, I would say more robust way. And now, since July 2024, when we were a little team of 4 people in our startup, we are now a much bigger team of 5 people in our startup. So really, that's what the other part that AI really allows you guys, really allows teams to do. You can develop at an enterprise scale with much fewer people, saving a lot more money. And it really isn't about replacing people, right? It's about enhancing. And that's really where I think the future of this industry is going to go moving forward, is taking these technologies and using it. Everyone here can use it to effectively boost what you can do by 10, 20, 30x. So again, it's not about replacement, it's about enhancement, and it allows you to build really some truly unbelievable products in a very short amount of time. So if anyone has any other questions, come find me after the conversation. And thank you guys very much for listening.
I think we've all seen how slow campaign planning can get, especially across large teams, right? And I think Fernando's approach is a reminder that AI isn't just about velocity, it's about clarity, less noise, sharper targeting, and faster cycles.
100%.
Fernando, what's your ideal customer profile look like?
Our ideal customer profile is any marketing agency who has between 50 and 1,000 employees plus, and are running video campaigns on YouTube. We do specialize on YouTube and Meta now. So if you are that person, come find us. And if you're a content creator who wants to understand how better cater your content towards those marketers, how to leverage insights from these brands, actually game the YouTube algorithm a little bit and get your content where you wanted to see it, come talk to me because we can help you with that too.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hardik.
Awesome. Amazing. Up next is Julia from Pocket.watch, the Nickelodeon of Gen Alpha. Their AI tool Clockwise scans over 100,000 videos to place ads that actually connect with young audiences, driving a 22% jump in click-throughs. Please welcome Julia.
It's reversal, guys. So today I'm going to talk to you about this AI product that we built that helps advertisers much more effectively reach U13 audiences on YouTube. It helps them better target and spend their media. It also helps creators make a bit more money on the YouTube platform. So first we'll start with why U13 audiences on YouTube. It is the largest platform in history for reaching a kid audience, 3 times more effective with Gen Alpha than TikTok. 51% of Gen Alpha's brand awareness comes from YouTube, and it is by far their favorite brand in the world. It beats Disney, it beats McDonald's, it beats Netflix and Minecraft. So just a #1 platform for kids. And Pocket.watch is the first and largest creator media company to really lean into these content creators on this platform. So we're partnered with over 55 of the top kids and family creators on YouTube. So that's everyone from Ryan's World to Toys and Colors to Kids Diana Show. Just massive scale, 1.3 billion subscribers, 2.3 billion hours viewed every year. And in terms of advertising, we have about 500 million monthly US ad impressions across our network. And in terms of who we work with the biggest and the best when it comes to kids and family advertising. So this is, every toy company from Mattel to Hasbro to Lego, all of the major movie studios, Paramount to Universal to Disney, kind of everyone in between, from Kraft Heinz to Nintendo to Skechers. So we've got a little bit of work in space. So I'll start from the top with how complicated kids advertising is. There's 2 main ways to run ad campaigns on a platform like YouTube. There is behavioral targeting, where you collect a ton of data on your audience and target ads to those individual users. So this requires platforms to obviously collect data on you. Google is fantastic at this. They know more about us than we know about ourselves. They know what YouTube videos we're watching. They know what's in our email. They know what we're searching for. So they can be very targeted with how they run ads targeted to users. With kids, you cannot do that. You have to not collect any data on under 13 audiences, probably soon expanding to under 17 audiences. And you have to run what are called contextual ads. This is where you run ads adjacent to content that is likely to be being consumed by your audience. So if there's a video that your audience is probably watching, then you want to run your ad there. So again, behavioral targeting, no with kids. Contextual targeting, yes with kids. There are 2 main ways to run contextual targeting on a platform like YouTube. And both are super broad, so you end up throwing a ton of money at something and hopefully some of it gives you some ROI. So one way of doing that is channel targeting, where you say, okay, it's very likely that my audience is watching this channel. I'm going to run ads across all the videos on this channel. The other way of doing that is keyword targeting, where you say, okay, I want to target kids that like Ryan's World and like unboxing videos. So I'm going to type in those keywords and I'm going to run across any video on YouTube that mentions those keywords. So this data requires you to rely on metadata that's entered by users that are looking to gain audience, so it's not always the most reliable way. So you're going to end up on content that you don't necessarily want to end up on. So we said, I think we can do this better. So we built a tool called Clockwise that allows you to target individual videos based on the content of those videos. So we have over 100,000 videos in our library from our 55 creator partners. We send them into this AI tool that watches all of the content, scans it for what's in the videos, and then spits out lists of, here's all the videos in your network that are about Marvel or Disney princesses or playing in the backyard or going on vacation, things like that. So it allows us to get much more specific. The way this technology works is, rather than relying on metadata, it scans the dialogue of the video. It also scans for every object that's in the video and every logo that's in the video. So let's say you're Netflix and you come to us and you've got a new holiday special for kids. Within a couple hours, we can send our library through the Clockwise system, spit out every video that is about the holidays within our network. Or you're Disney, you've got the new Frozen movie coming out, you don't want to run across every video on the internet, you want to run across Disney princess videos. We can do that for you. Let's say you're Lego, same thing, every Lego video that's in our network. So just to sort of compare this to the old methods versus Clockwise, if you compare, keyword targeted campaign to a Clockwise targeted campaign, here are some videos that would come up for Mickey Mouse, Peppa Pig, Superhero, and Paw Patrol. None of these are going to be super relevant for you. Your audience is probably not watching them. For those that can't see, Mickey is getting his ear cut off by Minnie in that thumbnail. Looks like Peppa Pig is maybe about to get injected with some sort of drugs or something. This is not content you want to run on. So with Clockwise, we scan, every video on our network is made by verified kids-safe kids and family creators. So, for Disney, you're running on a EvanTube family Disney cruise. Peppa Pig, it's a reaction video to the latest Peppa Pig cartoon. So there's kids playing superheroes, Paw Patrol. It's all relevant content to you and your audience. When you compare it to channel targeting, you say, okay, Ryan's World does tons of science videos. I want to run on Ryan's World because I have a new STEM app that I'm looking to promote. So if you choose the entire Ryan's World channel, not only will you run on his science content, you'll also run on, a first birthday party or a third birthday party, beach day, lots of content that kids that are interested in STEM may not necessarily be watching. But with Clockwise, you can target all of the science project videos within the channel without having to waste money on other content. And this has really solved a lot of problems. One is, as an advertiser, you can't collect data on your audience. You don't know what they're interested in. So now you have a way of reaching kids that are very likely interested in a certain topic or theme by running against the videos that are about those topics and themes. It also removes the reliance on unreliable metadata where, I love creators, but sometimes there's stuff in that metadata to try to get audience and traffic. So it's not the most reliable information. It also helps creators that are not monetizing very well on Google get more attention and get more ad dollars from, a company like Pocket.watch. So they asked us to talk a bit about, failures and stumbles along the way. So we ran our first test with Clockwise, and when you're working with kids stuff, you want to be very, very safe, very, very buttoned up. So we were watching every result that we got. So we'd see all the different categories that came up for videos. We would then watch those videos, make sure we saw why those categories were selected. And here's a couple examples of outliers that we had. This first one on the left here is Ryan went on a birthday trip with his family to the Legoland Hotel and to Legoland. So the whole video is about this awesome hotel that they stayed at, what their room looked like, the pool, the breakfast buffet, all that sort of stuff. So this video came up positive for travel, Legos, and pools. But it also came up for animals, which there are no animals in the video, so we were scratching our heads on that one. And then the video on the right was the family Kid City that was doing a video about testing Marvel products in their backyard. They were doing different challenges with them and stuff, so it came up positive for superhero backyard challenges. Also came up positive for hygiene, which is, a bit weird. Hygiene videos for us, by the way, are like kids telling you to wash your hands, brush your teeth, those kinds of videos. So we watched them and we saw, okay, this Lego video came up positive because this is, I don't know if it's a fox or a cat, I've been debating, but it's a Lego animal. So that was an outlier for us. Then for the Kid City video, we kept watching. We really didn't get it. After watching the entire video, we didn't see why hygiene came up. There's no mention of toothpaste or cleaning up or anything like that. So one of our engineers, it's because he raises his arms and you see his armpits. That comes up as hygiene. We were like, okay, that's not going to work. So we developed a few tools as part of our process. So anytime a video gets labeled as being part of a certain category, we gave it a presence score and a confidence score. So the presence score is how much is this object or theme in this video? And if it comes up as less than 25%, we don't include it in that category, just because figure if something is in a quarter of a video or more, it's probably relevant to the content of that video. Then the confidence score is my favorite one. It's where it basically is the AI grading itself. So it's us asking the AI, how confident are you that what you're detecting here is actually in this content? And we set that threshold at 90%. So if the AI isn't super, super confident, we're not including those videos in these buckets. And that has been super useful for finding content and making sure it's completely accurately labeled. So then we'll get into the launch of the product. We built this basically over all of last year and then kind of took it to market at the beginning of this year. So Q1, Nintendo, who we work with often on media campaigns, came to us with very specific kid interests and kid passion points that they wanted to reach for the next campaign. We talked to them about Clockwise. They thought it was pretty cool, but they wanted to run a test. So we did some of the targeting with the channel targeting that we typically do, and then we let some of the budget go towards the Clockwise stuff. For Clockwise, we found videos that fit all of their kid passion points for the different groups, boys and girls. Kids advertising is very gendered, guys. We'll talk about that later. The results were fantastic. So on the Clockwise targeted campaigns compared to the channel targeted campaigns, we got a 3% higher video completion rate on all the ads. That's 3% higher of people choosing to complete an ad rather than skip it or move away. But the stat I love was the click-through rate on the clockwise targeted campaigns was 22% higher than on regular channel targeted campaigns. That means 22% more people that were exposed to the ad wanted to click to either purchase or learn more about the product. So yeah, super successful. Okay, cool, that's it.
Thank you, Julia. It's a great example of AI solving a high-friction business problem, especially when there are so many regulations around it.
Yes,
right?
very regulated.
Yeah. What inspired you to actually work in this space?
In the kid space,
Yeah.
or I don't know. I like working. My CEO is a guy named Chris, who I worked with at Maker Studios. I like working with him. He's usually very smart about things, so I came on board. And he's in the audience, so
Hey,
I'll
Chris.
talk to you about that raise later.
Thank you, Julia.
Cool,
Thank
thanks.
you. Amazing. Great talk. Cool. Joining us next are John and Parker from Toonstar, a next-gen animation studio using AI to cut production time and cost by 90%. Their show, Steven and Parker, is now a global franchise with 30 million weekly viewers. Let's hear how they did it.
You know, because I'm so tall, I'm gonna block the screen. You know, 5'9".
So we're using mics. I'm confused. I have this too, but okay. So hello everybody. My name is John Attanasio. I'm a co-founder of Toonstar. We are a tech-driven animation studio. We use things like machine learning, generative AI, to basically. We're focused on building like a next generation of animation IP. This is Parker James. He is the creator of one of our hit IP. It's called Steven and Parker. And so today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're calling this a fireside case study. So we're going to have a conversation and we're going to walk you through basically how we leveraged AI in our workflows and how in our animation workflows and how we leveraged AI to create a global animated hit. So that's the idea. So to get started, every great franchise has an origin story, I think, but biased.
Yeah. I mean, great franchise. I'm trying to remain humble here. I mean, I started on TikTok. That's kind of like what I did. I used a Snapchat filter to kind of like create this character, pitch my voice up high, made my eyes all big, mouth all big. Honestly, just kind of made me a more annoying version of myself. But kids loved it, which was, you know, fantastic. But I built my platform up through there. But I've always wanted to do more. There was more to Steven that was kind of limited because it was in real life. I've always wanted to do cartoons. I grew up watching, you know, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Adventure Time, all that. And, you know, I got introduced to John and Louisa and the whole, you know, Toonstar team, and they made my dream, you know, come to life, you know. So it was really good. I mean,
yeah.
You liked my content? I hope so.
Yeah, I did. So let's talk about content. Let's take a quick look.
Something wrong with that boy.
Pretty cool. That is Steven and Parker. So to your question, great question about what we saw, and I think the first thing we saw was, you know, to your point, this character that Parker that had, you know, he had created. And it was such a unique character. It was live action at the time with a filter, but we could just see the character was so, it was so appealing, and the audience had such an affinity for this character. I think that was the first thing we noticed. And then we looked at it and we're like, oh, this is great. Like, we could definitely see this character translate into animation. And then once we got a chance to talk to you and meet you, we got a sense of your creative vision. And don't let Parker fool you. Like, he is incredibly talented, and I can flex on you. That's part of why I'm here. But incredibly talented and a great storyteller. And the more we got to talk to him, we realized he's got this vision for an entire world. It's not just one character; it's an entire world of characters. And I think that's what really attracted us to you and to the character.
Oh yeah, I mean, the whole Toonstar team is like super open to like as I'm horrible at talking, In my side job, I'm a musician, so I'm the vocalist, and I go up there and I sing, but I don't talk to people, So I'm up here right now, and I'm like, oh God, what do I say, But sitting down with Toonstar, they made it so easy, and I felt they just like understood like exactly what I was saying, and like looked past all my crazy, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, we get what you're saying, dude. So it ended up working out pretty well, and I'm happy with the product, and it's built us a pretty large following on YouTube, and it's made, it brought life back into Steven. It was really cool.
And so that's great. And so what we wanted to talk a little about is the experience and sort of the workflow. And so here is, now we're talking about it. Here's the first introduction video that we did once we adapted into animation.
Crazy. Yeah, that was like kind of the first introduction to Toonstar. They're like, I was like, so what do I do? What do I need to do? They're like, just stand in your living room and just click a remote, and we're gonna make something cool of it. And I was like, dude, these guys are lying. I'm like, there's no way this is gonna turn out cool. And it's gotten like through the years as it's progressed. I think I was like 19 in that video. I'm 24 now. So as the years progress, I feel the animation has progressed as well. It's become more smooth and just overall, magical. You guys create magic.
It's magic. Yeah. So so part of what I want to do is give you a peek. So talking about magic, we say that a big part of what made Steven and Parker possible is the tech. So we wanted to give a little peek behind the curtain of what is the tech, right? And so this is, part of what we're talking about is using machine learning, using generative AI to help build IP. And so we have a production engine. It's called Ink and Pixel. Ink and Pixel is proprietary. It uses machine learning. It uses generative AI. And really the idea is that it allows us to do high quality animation very quickly and cost effectively. So that's the benefits of the engine. It is copyright compliant. That is very important to us, because when you think about generative AI and you think about IP, like our business, like we're trying to build franchise IP, and if we're not copyright compliant, we have zero business. So it's a bit of a different business model than some of the Gen AI video models where it's more of a platform, and so that's why copyright compliance is very important to us. The output, so you can see, is we use it for asset creation, we use it for the actual animation, and then we also use it for this thing called native performance dubbing, and I think we have an example of that. But those are, and again, the benefit of this is the speed, it's the scale, it's a very capital efficient way to build IP. It also allows us to bring, because for us when we build characters, we want them to resonate, we want them to feel relevant and relatable, and so because we produce so quickly, we can bring in things that are trending topics into the animation and embed that into an episode basically the same day. So here is, I think, an example of the what we call native performance dubbing.
Are you ready for the pumpkin carving competition?
Oh, heck yeah! Mira qué bien salió mi calabaza.
Wow, ese es un caballo increíble.
¿Qué? What the heck do you mean a horse? This is a flipping T-Rex! Jeez.
That's obviously a horse.
No lo es. Mira, tiene bracitos pequeños, dientes grandes y afilados, and a strong tail.
Ok, está bien, lo que digas, amigo, lo que digas.
Y el ganador of the pumpkin carving contest is Steven!
Sí, I told you! Soy el mejor tallador de calabazas del mundo entero, Parker! Sí! Where's my trophy?
Felicidades, Steven! Tell us, how did you make such a perfect horse?
It's not a horse! ¡Es un dinosaurio!
Yeah, Spanish teacher would be proud, for sure. I failed, I'm gonna be completely honest. My girlfriend's mom was like, when did you learn to speak Spanish? You know, and now all she watches it is on the Spanish version. You know, she was like asking her, like, she's like, how does he speak better Spanish than you do? You know? And I'm like, I don't. I had to come clean, but yeah, it's honestly, the Spanish channel has grown to be one of my largest channels, so it's really great.
And that language, and so, you know, we can do that in, I think it's close to 30 languages. So you think about the growth of the channel and how we can scale with AI. This has helped us, you know, add a lot of reach to the property. So last thing we wanted to quickly talk about is just, you know, the question of like, okay, great, you're using AI for production. What has that netted? And so here, you know, here's just a quick, and this is where I get to flex for you. But this is what has been built with Steven and Parker. So, you know, this is put this in context, it gets 30 million weekly viewers. That's over 12x what The Simpsons gets. It's coming up on 8 billion views to date. It's in 5 different languages, it's in 5 continents. That's a bona fide global hit. When that happens, Random House reached out to us, and so now there's a graphic novel series coming that's going to be launching at the beginning of next year. So that, you know, we talk about because this is a really good example. Like, this would not exist if it weren't for the tech, and you know, that's a big part of it. The other part of it is a great storyteller like Parker. So I think that's it. Any Q&A? Yep.
We're done. All right, that's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think speed and efficiency are obvious wins, but what's most impressive about how they've used AI is how to take a new show global. All right, next up, meet Abby from Agentio and Megan from Techovis. Agentio is like Google Ads, but for YouTube creators, helping brands find the perfect match fast. And with 75% of ad inventory still going unsold, they're here to show us how that's changing with Agentio. Please welcome them.
Going to be the only ones who have sat down. Cool, I'm Abby, I'm VP of Creative Strategy at Agentio. Prior to Agentio, I helped build the talent side at Cameo for 6.5 years, where we were disrupting the way that creators monetize from their fans. At Agentio, we're using AI to help brands and creators scale their sponsorships, specifically across YouTube. I'm joined by Megan.
Hi there, my name's Megan Smith. I'm the Director of Media Strategy at Tecovas. We are a Western boot and apparel brand headquartered in Austin, Texas, and partnering very closely with the Agentio team to scale our YouTube creator program.
Cool, we're going to talk through how Agentio uses AI to solve a lot of the pain points that creators and brands have today when thinking about brand sponsorships. Today, the process is super noisy when brands are thinking about who to work with on YouTube and which creators are a really good fit for them. It's really difficult for them to do so. There's a lot of creators, it's really hard to discover the right ones. It's super resource intensive. And it only means that a lot of brands that should be spending in the space and are spending a lot of money on YouTube ads are not putting that money in creator pockets and doing YouTube ad integrations. It was really important to us when we were building that we were solving a lot of the friction processes that exist today. And we started with the way that creators and brands find the right people to match with. The reason that a lot of the brands are not spending today, obviously, is that it's really difficult for them to do so, and in turn, that means that the impact on creators is massive. Today, we know that YouTube ad reads for brands are the most performant ad unit for them that they can buy. It's 60 seconds of the most incredible storytelling that you can get with audiences that are the most engaged. These creators have spent years building, and not enough brands are utilizing that ad unit. And in turn, it means that around 50 to 75% of creator ad inventory goes unsold. So creators are posting to YouTube, there's not enough sponsors in the space, and in turn it means that there's not this like consistent revenue stream for creators that we're trying to solve. So when we built Agentio, it was really important for us to solve some of those problems. Megan, maybe you want to speak to, given that when you started at Tecovas, they were already kind of experimenting with YouTube. It was really difficult for you guys to scale, and then what you found to be really helpful with the tools that we built at Agentio.
Yeah, absolutely. So before my time at Tecovas, we had tested with a few creators on YouTube, couldn't really get some momentum going. I myself came on board as more of our upper to mid funnel media strategist, and I knew that there was so much potential in YouTube for us, especially driving awareness and consideration. I ran a few tests with some creators on a one-off basis, and we talk about effort versus impact. There were pain points and high effort every step of the way, and at the end, I was very unsure about the actual impact. So I knew there needed to be a better way. We needed to do it better, more efficiently, to make this a scalable, always-on channel for us. And so we were introduced to Agentio, and very quickly after both the demo of the platform and giving it a test, I could see very much this was a total solution for us every step of the way. Being able to have AI-driven insights for creator matching, the whole process from being matched with creators, product, setup, launching, timing, and measurement at the end with reporting, all in one platform has really created this streamlined process for us and allowed us to create a brand new marketing channel in that upper to mid funnel layer that's working for us and helping to drive our business.
So I guess how do we use AI to solve a lot of the problems that Megan was facing? The creator matching, we use large language models to have a much better, deeper semantic understanding of the creators that a brand wants to work with, allowing the brands to have much more trust in the creators that they're selecting. We have the large language model look at audience insights, content, and context. So it really understands not only is this creator a really good fit because of their audience insights, but also from a content and context perspective, are there key things about the creators that we know to be true that would make them a really good fit for Tecovas that maybe is outside of the creators that you would generally think are a really good fit for the brand. We want to push brands to be working with creators outside of the verticals and content categories that they're used to. And so when a creator or a brand join the platform, they get matched with a number of creators that are a really good fit with a match reason that then links to a video on their profile that gives them that trust that that creator is actually a really good fit. A really good example is, say, I was a male lifestyle creator, and I went to Stagecoach 3 months ago, and I wore my cowboy boots. And at minute 13 of a 30-minute video, I was doing my fit for the day, and I'm wearing boots. Maybe I don't say Tecovas, but I'm wearing my cowboy boots. for you as a marketer prior to Agentio, really challenging for you to find those creators who would have authentically been a good fit because they're wearing Tecovas boots, or maybe they're just wearing cowboy boots and you want to convert them over to being fans of your brand. And now we can pick up on that using AI and pull those creators into a campaign that Megan can review in the matter of seconds, which, as I'm sure many people know, that traditionally has taken days, weeks, months to find a list of creators that are a really good fit. Outside of the creator matching, Agentio also uses AI throughout the entire process of campaign optimization. So automated brand safety review, which is obviously really important for a marketer like Megan. AI-driven content review, which generally is something that takes the most amount of time when reviewing creator content to go live. Live data and performance reporting. And what we're working towards is kind of this like always-on agentic workflow where you can essentially set it on autopilot to run better optimized campaigns moving forward from a brand perspective. And from a creative perspective, they will get insights as to like why their videos are performing well, why they're not performing well, but maybe the top 25% of creators that work with Tecovas were doing these really key things that you should be doing in order to secure long-term sponsorships. The end result of these relationships is something that looks like this. This is a really fun ad read from Brave Wilderness, which was one of the creators that...
Oh boy, it's new boot day. Have you ever put on a pair of boots and you just know they're going to be with you for the long haul? That's Tecovas. Every pair of Tecovas is handmade from start to finish, which includes over 200 individual steps. We're talking ultra premium leather, guys. This stuff is the real deal. And here's the kicker. They're comfortable from day one. Tecovas is known for their broken-in feel, so you don't have to suffer through weeks of sore feet before you fall in love with your new boots. And if you're lucky enough to have a Tecovas store nearby, do yourself a favor and go. They've got complimentary drinks, free boot shines, and they even offer complimentary boot branding. Quick check-in on my Tecovas boots. I have had this pair now for about a month, and I have to say, guys, I absolutely love this pair of boots. I've worn them in almost every single scenario of my life. I actually wore them at the red carpet brandcast event for YouTube in downtown Manhattan. So if you're ready to step up your boot game, click the link in the description or scan this QR code on screen to get your new favorite pair of boots today. All right, back to the action.
It's better than a TV commercial. Maybe you want to speak to some of the results that you've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, the AI-driven insights are key. We're not losing out on that authentic storytelling like we saw in the prior video and really helping to grow our brand. But we have to prove this out with numbers, and we're able to see that every day in the Agentio platform. So our main KPI is a cost per engagement, and we're in the single digits with this platform. We've put out over 90 pieces of content with creators, an 83% view-through rate. So the efficiency and the scale of this channel is there for us, and we're really just getting started. I think we've only scratched the surface, but we're really able to roll this out as a key part of our marketing mix and a channel that really drives awareness and consideration, which is our main goal for it.
Our goal is to bring more brands like Tecovas to the space. We believe that where there's more sponsorship opportunities for creators, it means that creators can spend more time creating content and doing the things that they love to do best. We're already starting to see, because there's more brands on YouTube, more creators want to create videos to have those sponsorships, which obviously helps the entire YouTube ecosystem, which is awesome. We see generally amongst like a lot of the creators on Agentio who were selling through maybe 10 to 30% of their inventory previously, they're now selling through 80 to 100%, which is really the North Star. The more brands that we can bring to the space, which over the last year and a half, we've been able to bring about 75 new brands to YouTube that weren't spending before. It's allowing creators to spend a lot more time on their content across all sizes. Creators from 10, 15K views all the way up to Rhett and Link, who also love using Agentio.
Hey, Rhett and Link here. We are excited to tell you a little bit about how Agentio has vastly improved our experience in cultivating brand partnerships.
Partnering with top brands we can get behind has always been a priority for us here at Mythical, and Agentio has helped our channels connect with some of the best consumer brands out there, including things we've never seen advertised on YouTube before.
Since we started working with Agentio, we've had opportunities to work with incredible brands like DoorDash, Bombas, Graza, and Oslo. And thanks to Agentio, the collaborative process between us and the brands has been surprisingly simple and painless.
Yeah, and on top of that, the Agentio platform is really impressive. The experience is seamless, the content approvals are quick, and it lets our team focus more on what we love, creating great content. Content! We love it! We love content! We love it! We love it! Being early adopters to Agentio has been a fantastic experience, and we hope it brings you as much success as it has for us. Content! We love it!
Even top creators like Rhett and Link were finding it challenging to sell through all of their inventory, and using these AI workflows that help brands scale and creators work with more sponsors were going to change the space. We truly believe that campaigns can be scalable and very data-driven while also being incredibly and deeply human and authentic. And yeah, it's been a really great year and a half. Oh.
Thank you. Cool. Excellent. I think 4 case studies, brilliant examples of AI in action. And as you can see from all of the 4 case studies that you witnessed and what I was telling you about earlier during the beginning of my talk, the real risk is not doing AI wrong. It's standing still. It's standing still while your competitors figure it out. Let that sink in for a second. Because in tech, early wins, they are loud, but the lasting wins, they are infrastructure. And companies that are winning in AI right now, they're building quiet leverage, operational lift, and strategic velocity. Now, normally in my 45-minute keynote, I'd have the time to dive deeper into the rapid AI experimentation framework that I spoke about earlier. But since we are almost out of time, I want all of you guys to take out your phones and scan the QR code behind me and get your hands on that framework. It's the same framework that I use with the CXOs of global sports, media, and creator companies in helping them go from a workflow idea to revenue in just a few months. Also, follow me on social media. We're releasing real case studies, breakdowns, experiments every week. No fluff, no filters, just field notes from the edge. And if this talk shifted your thinking, even by a little, don't leave here with a note. Leave here with an idea, with an experiment. Start small, ship fast, repeat. Because in 2025, speed isn't a strategy, it's survival. And if you want to build what's next, you have to test what's risky. Let's go build. Thank you.